Krin, a human nation of city-states, built at the border of the haunted forest, and comprised mostly of black plains and a few rolling dark hills. Here, liches are worshipped, and death is embraced. Krin is loosely united under one banner, but the king holds little power, as it is more a superficial title, as the people in Krin tend to follow instead those they believe will have the most influence on the afterlife, and in most cases is a Lich of Gaklir. While the Krin no longer worship gods, each city-state will have an effigy built of bleached bone to one of the Liches in Gaklir, a northern province bordering the Obsidian Mountains. Each city-state devotes themselves to one Gaklir Lich, trying to coerce the other city-states into following their undead patron. They believe the Gaklir Liches are the sole rulers of the afterlife, each Lich promoting themselves as a god, and often making promises to the lords of the city-states, offering extra rewards in the afterlife in exchange for promoting their divinity, as well as requiring a yearly tribute of the city-state's most beautiful men and women. Although what happens to them when they get there, nobody knows. Although Jarl Nazarath, Krin's scribe of the Third Age, had this to say: "Give our youth and beauty to the dead gods, to what is unknown. For what do bones need of flesh? For what do the undead need of lovely things? But we give our fruits, left to wither, like the corpse of a desert sheep, left to rot in the sun of slavery." Each Lich declares itself the sole ruler, and demands all city-states follow. This has caused a cycle of bloodshed, as each city-state wars with all the others, and promotes their Lich as the sole ruler of the afterlife, denying entry to all non-believers. Due to these basic beliefs, the Krin worship the Liches of Gaklir as the supreme rulers of death, and therefore the keepers of all their ancestors. Seen as guardians between worlds, the Liches are both the equivalent of angels and gods. They have been to the other side, and returned keeping the doors open, allowing spirits to pass between realms. However, in more recent times, demons have shown, pretending to be envoys of the Liches, to promote further chaos and bloodshed. The Liches are aware this happens, and further fuels hostilities between the city-states, at times even working with the demons, pretending to pit each Lich against each other, when in fact they are all allies, using the bloodshed of the city-states to fuel their ancient magic and power their immortality. All this fighting has a consequence, however, causing the formation of the Ghost Fields, a blood-red plain stained by millennia of constant fighting. The place attracts evil spirits, attacking any who come too close, shredding flesh and ripping souls apart. This makes travel difficult in Krin, as you never know when you'll end up bumping into a pack of angry ghosts. Master Necromancer Guld Haradin, under the orders of the city-state lord Harold Yester, was commissioned to study the plains and learn of the undead. During his 10-year research into the phenomenon, this was the most famous of his notes. The plains become most red during the waning of the moon, as if the absence of light enrages the grounds. Unlike the lycanthropes, who seem powered by our celestial overseer, the spirits of the ghost plains are powered by darkness, but not just of the lack of light, but the lack of light within our souls. A paladin order of unknown origins, claiming to worship gods not yet heard, did try to expel the spirits. They wore bronzed armor and swords glowing a bright white, 100 in all, and all 100 were never seen again. Krin built their cities with brown stone spotted with black splotches, nicknamed Wartrock due to the appearance of warded skin, and are dug up from one of the many mines within the plains. Buildings are often decorated with black or brown banners depicting the likeness of the Gagler Liches. Carved into the rock over every door and window of every building in Krin is a skull with human eyes, a symbol that represents death always watches, and a reminder everyone finds their end, and those that do die still watch from beyond the grave. Inside most buildings, an altar is built holding a skull with human eyes. Inside are the ashes of the deceased, a place of resting for the dead, and often contains entire generations of a Krin family line. The Krin believe this keeps their ancestors close, so one day, when they die, they will be met by their loved ones first. The Krin wear mostly brown and black wool tunics made from the sheep herds grazing on the dark grass of the plains. Each person will wear a necklace of silver, ending with a skull charm, and handmade to make a connection with the spirits, and at times acts as a ward against ill-mannered ghosts, attracting instead the attention of their ancestors, who will often bring the wearer protection. In addition, each person of Krin will wear a pendant, sash, or armband, depicting the likeness of their patron Gagler Lich, though this is due more with law than by choice, as each city-state lord wants the people to show absolute devotion to their Lich. Some Krin, in addition, will carry around shrunken heads or shrunken skulls made through magic, and of course the body of a formerly deceased loved one before cremation. These heads are often expensive, rare, and therefore usually faked, but those that can afford them will wear them around their belt or hung over their doorway to ward away evil spirits. The Krin do this due to their unique outlook on death. They do not view it in a macabre way, but instead as the doorway to the afterlife, your reward for living the horrors of this world. But despite Krin's view of death, taking life is blasphemous, even evil, as life is a trial meant to weigh and test one's soul. Murder and suicide cut that trial short and robs the spirit of his potential afterlife reward. Because of this, the Krin often try to live as long as possible, earning more and more rewards on the other side. The Krin do not gain rewards for good and evil, they gain them for being alive. The longer they can endure suffering and terror of their mortal coils, the stronger their spirits become. Those who choose to play here must overcome the Lich's hold, and avoid the spirits of the blood-red plains. For those of you who find the challenges too great in Krin, perhaps you should embrace death, for maybe the rewards of the afterlife will be waiting for you. But then again, maybe not.